Hi, I'm Shannon. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Shannon Schroet, life and business strategist, coach, published author, and I'm also the visionary behind Spectacular Living. Now, I started my career at the age of 15. I grew up in business, multiple industries. I've worked every single department. I was very successful, a very career-driven individual to the point where, you know what, not only was I successful, but my work ethic became that of I was a workaholic. I was working 7 days a week, minimum 14-hour days, at least 14-hour days. I was known as the overachiever. Now, I don't know if you can relate being labeled as a workaholic and overachiever. But I bet as a leader, you are a very career driven individual. For me, I grew up hearing things such as money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard if you want anything. And like my grandparents used to say, who needs money when you have love? Now, there's nothing wrong with any of those sayings. But what it did do was it gave me a subconscious self-limiting belief that I either had to have my career or I had to have my personal life, and I could not have both. I really believed I couldn't have both. And many times I'm asked, is there such a thing as work-life balance? Can you really have a personal life, but not just a personal life, a fulfilling personal life and still keep your career? And yes, you can. Now, I don't believe in balance. I think balance, well, because I'm so literal, sometimes balance to me is a 50-50. There's no such thing. But what I believe in is harmony. In all aspects of my life, I can have harmony. Whether it's my career, it's my relationships with my friends, family, my loved ones, whether it's my health and well-being. So whatever aspects of your life that you want to find harmony with, of course, you can achieve that. You just have to know how. Like me, being that successful leader, I actually got to the point where I felt like I was missing something. I felt like there was more out there, but I didn't know what. And I was so unhappy in my personal life that I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I did that deep dive right into my career. A lot like an ostrich, where they bury their head in the sand. I buried my life in work. I was so busy. And I made myself busy because I truly felt guilty. I felt guilty if I was doing anything but the job. There was a lot of aspects to my job I thought I had to do because I was the leader. But I was wrong. I had to redefine my perspective. And I had to get rid of my self-limiting beliefs. It was not an easy road. I tried to do it on my own. Wasn't very successful until I learned how to accept help and guidance and be coached myself. So whether you're being coached by me or somebody else, the point is for you to get that guidance, for you to get coached and invest in yourself. A lot of times what I didn't know was what people remember most is how you make them feel. I'm great in business. I understand how to deliver customer service like there's no tomorrow and to help our customers leave feeling great. I just didn't know how to apply that in my personal life or to myself. I shelved myself. I gave myself no self-care whatsoever because my priorities was the job. And then I transitioned. But before I transitioned, I just felt like I was bad at relationships. I had a lot of anxiety and stress, and I completely believed that that's just part of the job. It goes along with the title. I didn't value myself because my value was tied to my title, my monetary gain. It was tied to my leadership abilities, but I wasn't leveling up my leadership anymore. I wasn't leveling up myself as a leader because I didn't fully understand that if I couldn't lead myself, how could I possibly lead somebody else? I was managing. I wasn't truly leading. Even though there was a time where I had people coming to me because they wanted to work with me, they wanted to work for me because they saw growth. They want to better themselves for their family. I helped the other people grow, but I didn't help myself grow. So there's only so far as a leader I can take somebody, or I can take a company. You know, my dad used to tell me all the time, you know what makes a great business person? It's somebody who understands their strengths and weaknesses, and they surround themselves with somebody who can take them further. He wasn't talking about a great business person. He was talking about a great leader. You have to surround yourself with somebody who can take you further than you can take yourself, and you have to allow them to do it. As a leader, I didn't have to control everything. I could be vulnerable because that made me more human. It allowed me to connect with more people. So as I learned how to become good at relationships, as I learned how to have that guilt-free work-life harmony, I reduced my anxiety and stress. As I learned how to delegate and allow my team to have take on responsibility and actually do their job, as I learned how to go from managing to leading, I actually learned how to free up a considerable amount of time. And yet I was more productive at work. Then I had all this time to learn how to have a personal life, to learn how to, the things that I enjoyed in life. I didn't know I liked kayaking. And then I had the time and I tried it, did it, loved it. We don't know until we try something. But what I did know back then was I had to do something different. Because I was, as a leader, not only in my career, but for myself, I became stagnant. And then I started becoming negative. And my mindset wasn't where I needed it to be. I struggled in a lot of things. So I learned how to have a fulfilling personal life and keep my career. I learned how to level up as a leader, not only developing healthy, supportive, better relationships personally, but also professionally. And you can too. So follow me for more information. Feel free, go to my website, spectacular-living.com. That's where you can contact me. And you know what? Schedule that discovery call. Reach out, invest in yourself. What I find is people will invest in a complete stranger because of how the stranger makes them feel, because they like them before they invest in themselves. And only 10% of leaders will invest in themselves. I'm not talking about just their professional abilities, but their personal abilities. I at one time thought, you know what, I was superwoman. I could keep my professional and personal life separate. I could draw that line. But I was completely mistaken, because as my personal life frankly sucked, it bled into my professional life. Because no matter how much we try to bury things deep down inside, they always have a way of showing up and coming out one way or another. And because I was trying to only bring one half of me, my professional self, to the table as a leader, I wasn't showing up 100%. So once I found harmony in all aspects of my life, I was able to show up whole and be what everybody else needed me to be there for. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening, and follow me. Have a spectacular rest of your week. Bye-bye.